we're here every Wednesday night, and of course, National Signing Day is always on a Wednesday, so that would be 3 weeks from today, I believe. What is the latest on the recruiting front as Miami tries to improve on a class that is currently ranked where? It was 13 last I remember.
Or like 8, 9, I thought.
8, 9? Okay.
Somewhere in there. See. Yeah, man. Number one is just getting all the guys who are currently committed to sign. Most of them are going to sign early, and most of those that sign early are going to enroll early also. So that means hitting campus in January. So there's that, and then you just try to close down on a couple, outstanding. I mean, outstanding in a double entendre way. So as in uncommitted and in incredible players, athletes, to join the class. So a guy like Ruben Bain from Miami Central, that's a guy that you look to close down on. 5-star defensive end probably, but athlete from Washington D.C. Nicholas Harbor updated his top 5. He dropped Miami for Georgia, but I think that from a lot of what I'm seeing, he's leaning more heavily into track than football. That's the big, gigantic 6'5", 230 dude who runs like a 10-2 in the 100 guy. Yeah. Samson Okunlola, obviously. Other teams around the country are recruiting that 5-star tackle from Massachusetts, but Miami continues to put their best foot forward and everything. It'll be really interesting just to see how many guys from the high school ranks Miami takes, and then also transfers. There's been a lot of guys who have entered the transfer portal, even guys who are stepping up from like FCS level. There's a couple wide receivers that have popped and gotten offers recently since they've entered the portal. And that's going to be a major, major area for adding to the roster. I think that after missing out on every one of the top tier of receivers through the portal last year, Miami's really going to focus on that and try to bring in probably 2, to be perfectly honest. And the guys who, Miami whiffed on, you see them making plays every day, like Mario Williams, who's from Plant City. Harbor is an incredible player. Yeah, but probably going to apply his trade elsewhere. I mean, if he, plays football at all, like honestly, track might be his meal ticket or chosen meal ticket. But yeah, a guy like Antoine Juice Wells at South Carolina, he's their number 1 receiver, and they just had that dynamic blowout of Tennessee. Sad to see Hendon Hooker go down, but still, the receiver, like I was talking about for South Carolina, he was one of those guys that Miami whiffed on. He's making plays. Mario Williams at SC from Plant City, he's making plays. Obviously, he went to Oklahoma and then transferred over. Obviously, Jordan Addison, another guy that Miami went after, only won the Biletnikoff Award last year. So like all these dudes that Miami went after, wherever they landed, they're making all kinds of plays, and that's really what was missing from the receiver room this year. So it's going to be a real big focus to bring in some game ready talent. Your KJ Osborne, your Charleston Rambo, like a guy who can slide into a number 1 or number 2 role the instant that he sets foot on campus in Coral Gables. So there's going to be a lot of that and everything. And then, it's just really locking down a couple of these guys who are uncommitted at the present. Miami's chasing a couple of guys who are committed elsewhere as well, which, everybody is. There's defensive tackles committed to North and South Carolina, respectively, that Miami's chasing. You got Damari Brown, Selwyn Brown's kid from American Heritage, Mark Fletcher, who just decommitted from Ohio State, but it looks like he's probably going to go to Florida, which, I mean, if you want to be a running back and go do that, sure. But yeah, that's really what it is. It's holding serve on the ones that you have, and I think the staff has done the ones you have committed, which I think the staff has done a really good job of, and then adding and selecting who's going to help round out this group. And again, it's going to need to be a big group because you're going to have an aggregate 45 or 50 turnover if you include the seniors. That's a big number. It's a big number. And you're not going to get, even though you could, because remember this year, next year are uncapped in terms of recruiting. You could hypothetically, theoretically, get that many players from the preps ranks, high schools to pick your team, which would be really outstanding, especially if we're in the beginning of a rebuild, but just getting all kinds of elite talent. But you're probably not going to get that many. So, I mean, you're going to look to be mid 25, maybe 30-ish from the high school ranks, and then fill in, another, maybe, the rest through the portal and everything. But there's going to be plenty of players out there. All right, there's going to be plenty of spots on this roster up until the 85 to fill. So we're just, following that and getting ready for signing day. I already got a couple notebooks done because I already, started doing some of my work early. And, just going to spend some time, probably like do 1 or 2 a day, so that by the time the National Signing Day gets here in 3 weeks, I'll just be ready to fire those things off. Guys obviously can rock with me. I always, make the time, create the space to be there, the whole entire day and everything. So, very excited. But, to the early question about, not giving Mario the benefit of the doubt for this season. It's not for this season, but definitely for the recruiting season, going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm excited to see how he and the staff close.